Alright. Welcome to tonight's stream. So we're gonna do Witcher stream 2. It's about to start in the next 7 minutes. So what we're gonna do now is just rerun up the trailer and then play some music until we get into that portion. Until they finally come live for the video, we just jump into that portion. But for now, we're just gonna chill and do some trailer rewatch. On it. Can't wait to see what else they got for us. Can't wait for this in 17 though. That it's gonna be a fire period. But anyways, we're gonna beat some music while we get started on. In 4 minutes, we will start the actual WitcherCon Part 2 stream. Okay, that's good. So enjoy the music and see you guys in a few more minutes.
To pray today, but no one was listening anymore. Do I need to fade away or stay here laying down on the floor? I want to know if you be the shoulder that I need. I want to go, so take me to Neverland. Can you help me find a way? Where is the God that I need? Can I get some help today? Lord, help me with the blood that I bleed. I want to know if you be the shoulder that I need. I want to go, so take me to Neverland. Anxiety taking over me, I can't be the only one left. No, society breaking up on me, I just wanna be felt and taken and never left. To say the least, so far from a superstar, and my daydreams are killing me. Feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm never feeling okay, but there's a soul to find. Just help me numb all the pain. just let me talk to
It's time.
The quest has begun. Destiny has brought us here.
Will you be joining me?
I'm in.
Prepare for epic reveals.
What have you done, Witcher?
Raise a toast to our special guests.
Brilliant. Geralt's usually so stingy with the details.
Welcome to WitcherCon. Winds howling.
Hello everyone around the world and welcome to the first ever WitcherCon. My name's Julia Hardy and I'm going to be your host for today. And I was trying to summarize and, put into words just what it means to me, to be the host of today's events. But then I realized if I did put it into words, it would just be the sound that only a dog could hear. So yeah, I'm just going to try and keep my cool today, but it is going to be a little bit challenging, not going to lie. Over the next few hours, I'll be taking you on a whirlwind journey through the world of The Witcher, together with Netflix and CD PROJEKT RED. And I can promise you that there's going to be tons of sneak peeks, never-before-heard stories, and special guests. Don't forget to share your favorite moments with us throughout the show, though, using the hashtag WitcherCon. Let's just get started. I think that's what we need to do, right? So we wouldn't be here without Andrzej Sapkowski, who obviously created the beloved Witcher world. Now, sadly, he can't join us in the studio today, but he did send us this personal message. So he says, "It gives me great pleasure to welcome all Witcher enthusiasts, fans of the books, the TV series, and the video games to the virtual WitcherCon convention. I'm sure that we'll all have grand fun, and when these challenging times are finally over, we'll meet again at WitcherCon," which is kind of really sweet. Oh, well, without further ado, let's get started. Kicking us off is our house band, the amazing Marcin Pibivovic and Percival, who you might know as the musical masterminds responsible for the Witcher game soundtracks. Take it away, guys. But do stay tuned because there's so much more Witcher business brewing, and we're moving straight from one card game into another. And if you're wondering what on earth we were talking about, you know, when we mentioned Gwent, the Witcher card game earlier, then stick around for a short explainer coming right up.
Set in a dark and twisted world full of witchers, monsters, knights, and sorceresses, Gwent is a card game where armies clash and you, as commander, lead the charge. You engage in battles divided into rounds. To win a round, you need to gain more points than your opponent. To win a battle, you need to claim victory in 2 out of 3 rounds. Sound easy? Trust me, it won't be. Behold your favorite characters, beautifully drawn and animated. Outsmart your opponents on the battlefield, and expand your collection of cards just by playing. Powerful armies and mighty commanders, tough choices and brutal consequences. This is the world of the Witcher, and it's at your fingertips. So see you on the battlefield.
The craft that goes into creating this world is quite honestly incredible. Let's take a deeper look. And yet another fascinating glimpse into the mystical world of The Witcher. But wait, there's more.
Hello everyone, my name is Rafał Jaki and I'm responsible for publishing what we call the expanded Witcher universe here at CD PROJEKT RED. Today I would like to invite you all to join me and a couple of guests on a brief journey taking a look at several of our expanded universe projects. Let's begin by hearing more about the creation of our Witcher comic books from their author, Bartosz Tybor.
Hi everyone, my name is Bartosz Tybor and you may know me as the author of some of the comic books we have released as part of the expanded Witcher universe. Today, I'm gonna give you some insight into these and might also have an announcement to make as well. So, let's get started. The world of The Witcher is vast and rich with storytelling potential. For me, it's the perfect setting for comic books as there are so many different styles and genres open to us to explore. With Fading Memories, we tell a classic noir tale, but with a twist. The series treats Geralt as a private eye living in a world where there are far fewer monsters to be hunted. Geralt really has to face who he is and what he might be. It mixes the vintage pulp noir styles of Dashiell Hammett and Raymond Chandler with postmodern anti-westerns like Unforgiven and No Country for Old Men. But in another series, we can move to an entirely different style. With Witch's Lament, we explore the horror genre, but not in the style of a slasher or a monster movie. Witch's Lament is a subversive horror story with social and moral subtext. It's a scary and symbolic tale about witches and their empowerment in fantasy tropes, and takes inspiration from some of the most intelligent and original tales of its genre, like Rosemary's Baby, Don't Look Now, Get Out, Hereditary, and Midsommar. The expanded Witcher universe can go in many directions, even in a single medium like comic books. And that's one of the most inspiring things about those kinds of projects. One of the cores of The Witcher, looking at books, games, and TV series, is of course Geralt of Rivia. Some of my favorite Witcher moments and stories come from putting Geralt in difficult circumstances and seeing how he reacts. And in comic books, we get to interpret the character of Geralt from perspectives you haven't seen before. Fundamentally, Geralt is a really fascinating character to write for. He has so much going on inside of him. There are many sides of his personality, each with different motivations, which clash with each other all the time. He has so much going on inside of him. When he's a private eye, he's like Philip Marlowe, cold, but true to his credo. As a lover, he's cautious and scared of commitment. As a fighter, he's calm and precise, and as a father figure, he's protective and sensitive. I think he becomes even more interesting when these aspects mix, like when he suddenly needs to be not only a detective, but also a father. That brings some of the internal clashes to the surface. He has layered emotions and motivations that aren't just black and white, and by using the power of comic books to put Geralt in totally different situations, you get to know him better and more deeply. In Fading Memories, we take a more melancholic approach, exploring who Geralt is when he's no longer hunting monsters. In Witch's Lament, we put him in a distinctly horrifying story which gives us characters to use him and the world around him for social and moral commentary. By showcasing this different side of Geralt in their own self-contained stories, we can relate to him in surprising and evocative ways. Of course, a comic book isn't just about the writing. For each series, we put together a creative team to make the writing, the visuals, and all the thematic elements fit perfectly together. Each team is handpicked for each series because it depends so much on the atmosphere we want to evoke and the story we want to tell. For example, the nature of Fading Memories meant finding an expressionistic inker and a colorist who could create a strong sense of melancholy. It's all about attention to detail and keeping in mind what the vision is for the series. The same goes for the cover artists. Our main covers were very melancholic, with variants focused more on the noir side. That way, we captured all aspects of Fading Memories is about. For Witch's Lament, we wanted artists with a strong attachment to horror. We sought out artists who were specifically talented at creating a sense of darkness and dread. We treat each series as their own installation into the Witcher universe, and I think that's part of what makes comic books so special. You can pick one of the series or one volume and fall in love with it, even if you don't know who Geralt is or what The Witcher is. Using totally different genres and techniques, we use the world of The Witcher to tell emotional stories that can be accessed, understood, and most importantly, enjoyed by anybody. I see The Witcher as a universe filled with grounded stories about people's instincts, emotions, and tendencies. Since Andrzej Sapkowski's first Witcher story, that world has resonated deeply with many people, and we are trying to capture all of that and do the same thing with our comic books, not just only Fading Memories and Witch's Lament. I'm very proud and excited to announce here at WitcherCon the next Witcher comic book, one that will be familiar to fans of Andrzej Sapkowski's original works. It's called A Grain of Truth, and it's an adaptation of the short story of the same name, a postmodern take of Beauty and the Beast. Our comic book adaptation will stay true to the roots of the short story as we aim to bring this beautiful tale to new audiences and continue to expand the Witcher universe. But for now, that's it from me. Thank you and have a great WitcherCon.
Bartosz, many thanks for taking the time to share your insights with us. If you want to get your hands on the complete Fading Memories collection, that will be out in trade paperback on the July 28th. For Witcher Lament, the first 2 issues are out now, with more coming soon, and the full trade paperback edition coming in December 2021. The Grain of Truth will be the first of brand new series of direct comic book adaptations of Mr. Sapkowski's short stories. The latest addition to the world of the Witcher comic books are planned to be released in early 2022. All those titles will be published by our dear friends at Dark Horse Comics. But we are not done yet. We are proud to announce a special comic book project that has been in the works for some time now. Roll the trailer!
Geralt is a lone Ronin Witcher, hunting yokai and searching for Yuki Onna, the lady in the blizzard. the Lady of Snow. He has lost all hope. Fate has other plans. The Witcher Ronin, slicing its way onto Kickstarter soon.
Together with CD Projekt Red gear, we started to explore the Witcher Ronin world with beautiful, hand-painted statues, and the response was overwhelmingly positive. So now we want to invite you into the ancient, Japanese-inspired world where Geralt is a monster hunter of a different nature. As the author of the comics and a graduate of Japanese philology, I always felt that Geralt fits the mold of a Ronin-esque swordsman and connects with the samurai mythos quite well. To help bring this idea to life as authentically as possible, an amazing manga artist, Hataya, has agreed to lend her skill to the series. The first volume is almost finished, and if you want to learn more, please visit the Witcher Ronin Kickstarter page to stay up to date until the campaign launches. And now let's take a look at another part of the expanded Witcher universe. The Witcher Old World is an adventure board game that takes place years before Geralt was born. The world is full of professional monster slayers from all Witcher schools, and they are all competing for contracts across the continent. To tell you more about it, please let me invite Łukasz Woźniak, the designer of The Witcher Old World.
Welcome all Witcher fans from around the world. We are more than happy to have you here with us. Creating a board game set in the Witcher world has been our big dream for a long time, and we have poured our hearts and souls into this project. With The Witcher Old World, our goal is to create a game that will give you the opportunity to immerse yourself in the Witcher world and create your own story. You will travel, train, trail monsters, play dice poker, and encounter a wide variety of thematic choices. And most of all, you will fight monsters and even brawl with other Witchers.
Years before the saga of Geralt of Rivia, when magic and beastly peril had just come to the continent, 5 competing Witcher schools trained their adepts. Become one of the Witchers. Explore the land by seeking trouble around cities and adventures in the wild. Meet folk from all around the continent and make difficult moral choices that impact your story. Use magical potions, develop your abilities, play dice poker, and master sophisticated combat techniques to brawl with other Witchers and do what Witchers are trained for: hunt horrible monsters. Across the vast continent, dangers abound. Each beast has their unique abilities, which makes fighting them a real challenge. You'll face Lesher, Fiend, Harpy, and many more. Killing monsters and collecting their trophies is the best way to prove your courage and skill. Each Witcher starts their adventure with a deck of cards that will grow as they travel around the map. For combat, you will use strong or fast attacks, dodges, and powerful magic signs to your advantage. Create mighty combos to defeat your foes. Prepare your deck to be the last man standing in every fight. And become the best Witcher in the Old World.
The Witcher Old World is available as a late pledge on Project's Kickstarter page. Many thanks to all of you for joining us in this journey into the expanded Witcher universe. We hope you will enjoy all the stories and experiences we have prepared for you. And last but not least, have a great WitcherCon.
Hello everyone, we are here today to talk to you a little bit about how we make the stories for our Witcher games. I work as a lead acting quest designer in Warsaw, and with me is Błażej.
Hello, I'm Błażej Augustynek. I'm the acting lead quest designer for Kraków, the Krakow studio. I've worked on The Witcher and Cyberpunk, been in the studio for 7 or 8 years, I think.
So we introduced ourselves as quest designers, so maybe let's actually go maybe a little bit into detail about how one of these quests, one of these stories is created. So as I said before, we essentially always start with the question of, what is the topic of this quest? What is the theme? And once we pretty much know what are the interesting topics that interest us, we basically go to the next stage where I think, it's a very common thing in the story business. We essentially pitch a story. And this can be done by the quest designers or of course by our best friends in the studio, the story writers. We always work as a very close-knit team. And basically we write the story in a very short form to basically, give interesting glimpses in it. And then we of course, have the lead quest designers, we have the directors who basically check these pitches and pretty much choose their favorites. And if your pitch is chosen, then comes the next very interesting part, which is called the quest design. And there we essentially write down the whole quest from start to finish in its full form. So basically when you read this document, in your head, in the best case scenario, you can already imagine the way it would play. This is of course a very challenging thing because our stories are not linear. You're not going from A to B to Z. You can make lots of choices in our stories. Yes, right? You actually need to show it visually so people know. Graphs. Yeah, like, oh, here's this direction going up there, but there's another one, and then they go together again. And this is a thing that we actually have as a challenge to really represent. So when I'm reading this quest design, I can follow all the different directions the story can go in, all the choices and consequences that come from these choices. And basically, of course, as always, it goes through multiple iterations. Once it's accepted, then comes the fun part, and we actually start implementing the quest into the game engine, and we work with lots of different teams, and you can talk a bit about that.
Yeah, and in that moment, the quest designer becomes kind of like a spider inside the net, because we have contact with pretty much everyone on the team, every specialty, and there is a lot of specialties of people that work in making games. So you've got I'm gonna forget someone, and I'm just gonna say I'm sorry if I forgot about you. But you've got like your enviro artists, your level designers, your gameplay designers. You've got writers, obviously, cinematic designers, FX artists, audio designers. There's more, and we basically talk to them. We send them documents, we talk to them, we organize all this stuff, we try to sell them our vision, basically. And sometimes there's interesting stuff happening because we talk, yes, but we need to listen as well.
Yeah.
Because there's sometimes there's stuff happening that we wouldn't have thought that ourselves, basically. So there's this example I can give you. When I was working on a little document, when I outlining the location of Tucson in Blood and Wine in the expansion. And I was going through the book and just looking at what locations were mentioned, putting them down in the document, trying to put them on the map, etc. And this created like a rough outline of how the world is going to look like. And then handed it over to other teams. Then it lived with its own life. They asked me questions sometimes. And then I got to open up the world in the game editor that we work in. And I saw additional places that were between the connection, that were connecting the places that I mentioned. They logically made sense. And I remember the sense of, I would call it awe, really.
Yeah.
when I saw there was a quarry and there was a river, right? And the story was that the stone from the quarry was transported in the river, right? By boat. And so it's a little thing, but it really impressed me that they actually connected the two places with like a canal, because that made sense.
Yeah.
Right? Logically. I didn't think of it. They did.
Yeah, that is the thing that, we always, when we talk about, we're making the quests, but that's not really the case. We're kind of, let's say, responsible for the quest coming together, but it's this whole collaborative work that everyone actually chips in. And, not necessarily even just in their specific specialty. Often, some of my best, story twists, story decisions in my quests were ideas that just, team members had when, we were playing the quest together or just talking to each other. And that's also, let's say, an important thing to, for us to never be someone who says, this is my specialty, this is the job I do, because that's not how we make games. We make games as a team. We all love making Witcher games, and everyone has their ideas. So I think, as you said, one of our biggest, most important things in our jobs is to listen and to just talk to each other, because everyone wants to make the best game possible. And I think if you pretty much keep doing that, then there's a good chance that you're gonna make a good game.
On that stage, there's surprisingly little time that we spend in front of a computer, right?
Yeah, exactly. we basically spend a lot of time just talking to each other, which is good because you kind of need this basis to then actually start making the quest that your people are actually gonna play. So in our Witcher games, one of the, I think, most famous aspects is, of course, as I said earlier, that we're not telling linear stories that go from A to B to Z, because there's a player involved. So our games aren't, let's say, a monologue of the author telling you what happens. They are a dialogue, because you as a player can make choices that just change the flow of the whole story. And because our games are pretty long, there's often hundreds of these choices, and of course, a choice is only good if it has a really good consequence. So let's talk a little bit about the choice and consequence.
Yes, so one thing is that I kind of mentioned this already before. The choices need to feel appropriate for the situation. They need to feel natural in the moment, in the context of what's going on. But the other thing that needs to happen as well is the choices need to fit Geralt as a character that you're inhabiting, because this is a role-playing game, right? So you are playing his role. And we always have these discussions where we use this term that no, Geralt wouldn't do that. Right?
Yeah.
But this is a challenge sometimes. But thankfully, Geralt is an internally torn character, because he is striving to be professional, neutral. He's trying to uphold this mythos of being a witcher, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, internally, he's, a good guy, basically. He's almost like a white knight. He's trying not to be.
Yeah, he would never admit it.
Well, sometimes he does. He does look like a black metal, band guy, but internally he's warm and fuzzy, and, he's a really cool friend. You mentioned his humor, right? That's something that's surprising when you first hear it. But yeah, going back to those choices, this gives us like a range of approaches to any given situation. Some of this comes out of the context, but some of it comes out of him as a person, and this dichotomy that he has within himself, where he tries to, you can play him as just the neutral, professional, maybe slightly cynic kind of guy, or you can play him as, white knight, basically, and just helping everyone.
Well, that's also the thing that's often a bit of a head scratcher when we start with our quests, is often this question of, why would Geralt even help these people? Why would he even do that? Because that's actually a question that is important, because usually in video games, well, your character does it because you're a player and you want to do it. Yeah. But you're playing Geralt of Rivia. Exactly. Yes, exactly. He just doesn't do anything. So there always needs to be this specific reason that interests him. And when we do these choices and consequences, we also want to make it so the player is actually interested in making those. Because you always feel, let's say, if you have choices in a story and they're very clearly, this is the good choice, this is the evil choice, this is the stupid choice, then it's kind of boring. Then you're not using your head. We actually try to keep it, a bit more interesting. Earlier we talked about how we make mature stories.
And we really can't use the evil choice, because Geralt is not evil. Geralt wouldn't do that. Right?
Yeah, you can't have a choice where Geralt's just, yes, I'm gonna slaughter all the innocent people. That's just, nothing that would make sense in our stories.
Well, it did happen in Blaviken, though.
But that's the thing.
But were they innocent?
Because that's the thing. Because even in the books and in our games, the choices aren't just good or evil. Usually, it's a really difficult choice to make. And as an example, in Blaviken, which of course, fans of the Netflix series might have seen as well, there is a very difficult choice that Geralt has to make there. And as an example, if this was a quest in the game, that might be an available choice to, fight Renfri and her people. But the thing is, maybe we would also then have to give you context for maybe Geralt doesn't fight him. Maybe Geralt actually, through whatever story thing happens, could help them. But then, of course, when it comes to Blaviken, this would result in really dire and big consequences. And this is the thing that we pretty much have to handle, that every choice needs to have a really interesting consequence. And the thing is, these consequences can't just be surprises. Like, you can't just make a choice and then an hour later, oh, a thing happens now. They can be surprising, but if it's a good, let's say, choice and consequence, you always know, where it's coming from. Exactly, they have to make some logical sense, even if they are surprising.
Yeah, and if you have a lot of these choices, and you said you want to have hundreds of them, that means a lot of consequences, and a lot of consequences means that the structure of the game has the potential of becoming unmanageable, because there's so many alternate realities that you create when you choose stuff that we as developers need to handle. That we do this thing where we create convergence points. One example of this is the Battle of Kaer Morhen, which was made by Paweł Sasko, our lead quest designer right now. And this is a point where kind of all the things that happened before it have their effect, and they have their consequences, and you can see them play out beat by beat, basically throughout the whole defense of Kaer Morhen. It's a very rewarding experience, because it feels like everything you did at this point mattered, right? But for us as developers, it's helpful, because we kind of close that topic and we move on with the story.
Yeah, all those different things that are flowing around, they all just can come together again, and then we pretty much know where we are.
And then we can use them here and there, but the whole story is, the story arc is closed.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much also one of the most, let's say the unique thing about our Witcher games, which is that you are actually an active participant in the story. You shape the way the story goes. You are Geralt of Rivia, or you are Ciri, and you make these choices for these characters. And as an example, if you feel like, Sultan is Geralt's friend, now he's also your friend, and you talk to him in a way.
It's personal, right?
Exactly, and you kind of feel very attached to them, and it's pretty much your adventure. And I think one of the absolutely coolest things about my job is to, after the game is out, when you hear people talking about, as an example, my quests, and they talk about the story, and they just have completely different experiences. Like, someone made a choice that's completely different than another one has. Or, maybe they get both the same result, but one is angry about it and the other one loves it, and they think, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And this is actually what I really like about it. And that's why it's actually fun to do these non-linear stories, where people can actually be this active participant. And I think that's kind of what makes the games really special.
If you've been with us from the start, then you're no stranger to their music. Our house band is back. The amazing Martin Pibivovic and Percival, take it away. that we didn't actually get to see Vesemir's face there. What's going on? I want to see Vesemir's face.
Well, this is going to be a different Vesemir than you're used to. This is a younger Vesemir. It's more about his origin story. But I kind of think while we're here, we should show people what he's going to look like.
Okay, I want to see this. Let's see this. Young Vesemir is kind of hot, right? Was I supposed to take that away from it, or was that just me?
No, that's absolutely what you're supposed to take away from it.
Did you take that away, Declan? Do you think Vesemir's like super hot?
He's 15 on the Richter scale.
God, yeah. I mean, was that the intent?
He's kind of badass too. I hope that also comes across. But yes, this is our first introduction to young Vesemir.
Oh, yeah, Philippe and Boaget, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I want to watch it. I wonder if they'll do the hat.
Oh, well, look, you know, it's that kind of time. I'm really sorry to say, but it is basically the end of panel 2. So I'd like to thank Boaget and Philippe for joining us from Poland. And, of course, to Declan and Lauren. And you guys at home, I mean, did you beat the pros? Did you get more questions right than they did? I don't know. Well, we'll find out soon enough. But I do hope that you stay tuned, because if you've enjoyed what's been revealed so far, you do not want to miss the next reveal that's coming right up. Mimi, what's it been like to be back, you know, amongst kind of all the cast? When was the last time you saw them?
Some of them I haven't seen since early last year. So it's been really beautiful to, like, blow kisses at them in the distance and air five.
Oh, I fully get the vibe that you guys are really, really tight.
Yeah, we're a family. We get really territorial over each other. It's beautiful.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, my God. OK, now, I know I've said it before and I will say it again, but the Witcher universe is, of course, constantly growing. And how's that been for you to kind of see the show evolving in such a way?
I am always in awe as to how everyone comes together just to create this for the fans. And I'd actually like to show you something really special.
It seems there's always more to learn about the people behind the Witcher universe and the amazing work that they do. Next, we're going to take a look at The Witcher Monster Slayer, a mobile location-based AR game developed and published by the Spocko team. This new adventure in the world of The Witcher will be available shortly, so let's dive in and hear what it's all about from Raphael.
Have you ever dreamt of being a Witcher? In our game, The Witcher Monster Slayer, you'll strap on the boots of a professional monster hunter and explore the real world around you. By combining a location-based genre and augmented reality with the visual quality known from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, we're bringing the monster-infested realm directly into our world. To feel what it's like to be a professional Witcher for yourself, all you need is your phone. But our game is not just about hunting and killing beautifully rendered beasts. Above all, it's the adventures we live that define our experience as a Witcher. And that's what we'd like to share with you today.
The Witcher Monster Slayer tells your stories and takes you on adventures in a completely novel way. It will be witchering like you've never seen before. Imagine facing an iconic task that only a Witcher can handle.
Who are you?
Lifting a curse that has turned an innocent child into a bloodthirsty Striga.
Since when does gold burn?
Few have ever succeeded in breaking the spell or killing this particular beast, though many have tried. In The Witcher Monster Slayer, this task will fall to you. Put your bravery to the test and see if you have the power to save the cursed child, where so many others have failed, in real time. Like a true Witcher, you'll need to prepare, bide your time, and wait until... Like a true Witcher, you'll need to prepare, bide your time, and wait until nightfall for the fearsome Striga to appear. And from there, everything is in your hands.
Since the worldwide premiere is just around the corner, prepare your phone and be ready for July 21st, 2021. The Witcher Monster Slayer is going to be available for free both on Android and iOS, and you can also pre-register right now on Google Play and grab some cool stuff on release date. The path awaits you.
clearly there's plenty to look forward to in the coming months, or even years. But there's one topic that we haven't really touched upon during this edition of WitcherCon, and that's figurines. So find out next how these collectible pieces were created, what inspired them, and what they really mean to their makers.
Hi everyone, I'm Aleksandra Jaroszkiewicz from CD PROJEKT RED, where I'm e-commerce director here at the studio. I'm also responsible for the production of the CD PROJEKT RED gear line of Witcher World figures. We've been blown away by the love you've shown our Japanese-inspired takes on Geralt and Ciri. Today, I want to talk to you about the creative process behind these designs, which were so rewarding for artists to work on. Folklore and myths like the ones you see in The Witcher often share common themes across the world. Having previously played with this idea, we knew The Witcher's character could work in vastly different settings. Our partners have done some amazing work with figures in the past. They brought the designs of The Witcher to life in such a detailed way, staying very faithful to the style of the games. So, it was enticing for us to step outside the bounds of the dark medieval The Witcher is known for, and into a different kind of a dark medieval with Geralt running. You can see that all you know and love about Geralt is right there in full force. He's still a monster slayer, he's still a master swordsman, but we've transported him right into the heart of feudal Japan and really made him feel like an authentic, wandering samurai. It was an exciting moment for us seeing the figure take shape. We experimented with the style and spent a lot of time figuring out how to translate the White Wolf's character and the world of The Witcher, so it made sense in this new context, and honored it too. When we revealed Ronin Geralt, the feedback from fans was amazing. That gave the art team a lot of confidence to look deeper into this setting inspired by Japan's history, see what other aspects we could explore. We went on to do so with Ciri and the Kitsune. We wanted to make Ciri look and feel powerful and supreme, but also incredibly elegant. Her stance is tall and proud, very confident, and her traditional bright yellow yukata emphasizes that as well. And like Geralt, the character of Ciri is similar to what we know from the games, but this setting gives her a different essence. By taking Ciri and building this Japanese scene around her, it also feels like it adds to her mythology too. After all, she's the lady of space and time. I think she was the perfect follow-up to our first figure. We paid a lot of attention to the individual settings for each figure. We carefully planned the composition and design of each figure's base to help us tell their stories and set the scene. Geralt's is a quiet moment as he hunts his way through the Koyasan's Okunoin cemetery, while Ciri's is more destructive, placing her in the ruins of destroyed shrine. We took our time to make the base as detailed as possible, especially when it comes to grounding them in the Japanese culture and mythology. The creatures that accompany each character are another way we bring in additional Japanese influences that add to the story of each figure. The Ronin version of Geralt is accompanied by an owl, a friendly Tatarimoke spirit, as he prepares to battle evil Oni demons. Ciri, on the other hand, is followed by a wise kitsune fox with 5 tails. With its yellow, witchery eyes, it acts as a guardian and guide as Ciri takes on a dangerous mission to take on a powerful yokai. Working on Geralt and Ciri has given us a lot of new ideas for possible stories to capture in these standalone scenes. And now I am happy to share with you our latest addition to our family of figures, Yennefer. We've designed Yen as a kunoichi, a female ninja. The colors and the atmosphere fit her beautifully, and the ninjutsu style connects nicely with her character. When we envision Yennefer in this magical Japanese realm, the ninjutsu aura makes total sense for such a mighty sorceress. It balances a mystic atmosphere with unmatched skill. That's Yen all over. Similarly to Geralt and Ciri, Yen is also accompanied by her own creature, a Nekomata. This two-tailed cat acts as a Yennefer's familiar. For a kunoichi of such great poise, power, and magical knowledge, this agile little feline friend makes the perfect companion. Like we did with our previous figures, we've put a lot of love into designing this latest reimagining, and we can't wait to show you the final result in not too long. Enjoy the rest of the WitcherCon. Bye!
Now there's a person who's found their calling, and you know what? They're not alone. In the next installment of Humans of the Continent, we'll unveil another one of the invisible forces working passionately to make Season 2 the best it can be. If you ask me, there's no such thing as too much behind-the-scenes content, so I feel like we should keep the good times rolling. So, what have you got up your sleeves for us, Lauren?
Well, I am so excited to take you to a place that I think all fans are dying to see. It's a key spot at the core of the Witcher universe. Join me on a tour of Kaer Morhen that touches upon the Keep's lore and visual style across 3D and 2D and live-action formats, from the games, the series, and the anime film. Come on inside. Creating Kaer Morhen for Season 2 has been quite the adventure. We have worked so hard to bring this ancient keep to life, the place where Witchers return each winter to rest and restore. I'm excited to welcome you all, legacy fans and new audiences alike, home to Kaer Morhen. The lab is also where young Witchers are created, if they're lucky enough to survive the trial of the Grasses. It's been an exciting journey, crafting a new piece of this Witcher world, from the page to the screen. We hope you love it as much as we do.
I've been joined by the very lovely newbie, Paul. How are you enjoying your first WitcherCon?
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been throwing you in right at the deep end, right from the get-go, like, into a con.
Oh, it's all fun. I'm happy to be here.
Well, good, you know, and it's been lovely to have you, I have to say, and we've seen some awesome stuff so far, but, you know, don't go anywhere. We've got our lovely house band warming us up for the fourth and final panel, Tales from the White Wolf, which is where host Josh Horowitz is going to have a chat with Henry Cavill, one of your fellow Witcher brothers there.
Yes, my Witcher brother.
Yeah?
My Witcher brother. It was an absolute joy to work with him, and we shared a lot of the same ideas about what the Witchers were about. So it was nice to get excited about working with him on Season 2.
Did you bond?
Well, we did bond. We did bond. There was, you know, during the COVID time, some elbows going on. But I'm just really excited to see what he's going to say about me, because I'm sure the excitement was just as high when he found out that Lambert was going to be played by an actor that he didn't know existed.
I'm sure, and I hope that it'll be equally gushy. Why don't we throw it over to the house band?
These scars long have yearned for your tender caress, to bind our fortunes
Let's go back to Julia, who's going to wrap up this first WitcherCon for all of us. Julia.
That was it for our fourth and final panel. I mean, I think Josh and Henry could have kept chatting for ages, but I do have the house band eagerly waiting in the wings. But before I hand it over to them one last time, I'd like to thank all of you across the world for watching and making WitcherCon 2021 so special. Together, we've followed the path and it's led us to some pretty amazing places. You know, we've been on set inside Caermorn and we've picked the brains of the cast, the crew and the developers. And if you'd like to relive some of today's excitement, all you have to do is head to the CD PROJEKT RED or Netflix channels. Now, it's time for the band to take us away for one last time.